What's up, y'all? We're back on POKEMMO, and today we are getting rich. So, of course, we have to start with a red fight. And thankfully, we have the Gen 5 team, which is the only one I haven't shown off yet on this account. So, hopefully, we get some good footage of this. Alright. So, Samurott lead is not super usual, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and click Stealth Rock, and it's probably going to go into Embor. Yeah, okay. So this is the strategy. You want it to go into Embor and Roar. If we don't go into Jellicent, we're going to hard switch into Jellicent. We got lucky this time. Now it's going to go for Wild Charge, so we're going to Trick. So there you go, that easy. So we've tricked a choice item onto the Embor when it uses Wild Charge, and that means that our Flygon over here is not going to take any damage while it sets up. So let's go ahead and show that off for you guys. Got about 30 minutes left on our charm, so wanted to get in this red fight, and then I think we're technically supposed to let this thing die. No, it's okay. Let's just hard switch into Flygon. It'll be fine. The Embor shouldn't switch out, so we should be able to just set up here for free. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll Dragon Dance once, and it stays in. Still clicking Wild Charge. If they change the AI, then they would make these fights a lot harder, or like they'll switch out if they're locked into a move that does 0 damage. We'll see if that ever happens, but these fights have been out for a long time and nothing has changed, so we're just going to assume it's going to stay that way. Anyway, this is the strategy. It is pretty simple. It's like all the other ones. You just set up with a Mon that won't be taking damage. And yeah, okay, so I've actually made a mistake here. I've actually made a little bit of a mistake here because I'm supposed to have Substitute on this Flygon, and it looks like I put Rock Slide on it for some unknown reason. So keep that in mind if you guys do this at home. Definitely have Substitute. I think I still might be able to pull this off without it, but definitely going to be a little bit more annoying. So yeah, just keep that in mind. You do need Substitute on this, and we will see why in a moment when the Superior comes out, because it has Dragon Pulse, which is probably going to kill me, but let's see, maybe we can sneak out a win anyway. That's actually a huge mistake on my part. You do need Substitute on this Flygon. If it fails, we'll just try again, though. But I think we might be able to still get a win here. Let's find out together. Here we go. All right, so yeah, we're getting lucky with the Superior coming in later. So hopefully, even if it takes out my Flygon, we can finish it off with the Jellicent, maybe. We'll have to see. Alright, yeah, so we are going to get Superior last, so we have the best chance of winning here, which is really, really good. So let's go ahead and take this thing out, and then we'll get the sub down from the Superior, and hopefully we'll have enough to kill it. But we'll see. Like I said, this was a mistake. This isn't how you're supposed to do this, because he gets a Substitute up, and he has Dragon Pulse, so yeah, let's just see how this goes. I'm actually quite curious. Okay, it goes for Leaf Storm instead, so we are going to get this win. Yeah, let's just show this off really quick. Even me doing it wrong should still get this win. Let's see. Go ahead and click Dragon Claw. And boom, there you go. So yeah, like I said, huge mistake on my part. Actually, definitely make sure that your Flygon has Substitute because of the Superior. That was a huge mistake from my part, but we still ended up winning the fight and got a bunch of money. So yeah, it all worked out. Let's go and hop into some of the next fights. If you guys have seen some of my PokeMMO videos before, you'll know what we're doing next. And yeah, we're going to the Striaton City Gym, because they have 3 gym leaders that you can fight back-to-back with the same team, and it's really rather quick. And really quickly before we do that, let me just show off this team. I was doing that a little quick here. So we have Blissey here with a Choice Scarf, with HP and defense and pretty high defenses, and it is bold. That's pretty important. Then we have our Jellicent, which is Impish, and a nature that doesn't reduce special attack is probably better. But anyway, just boost defense. And we have HP and defense, and HP and the defenses. And then we just have our Flygon here. Whoops. Adamant, and pretty good. And then just, yeah, Earthquake, Dragon Claw, Dragon Dance, and Rock Slide here. This should be Substitute. That was actually, like I said again, Huge mistake on my part. I must have swapped the move for like a raid or something and forgot about it. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the next couple of fights here and show you guys how to get rich as well in this game. Once you hit late game, it's really not that hard, to be honest with you. It's just before you hit late game is honestly where it can be hard. And in that case, I would recommend breeding for profit. I have a couple of guides up, so just check those out if you're in that stage of the game. But for all my late game friends out there, let's get into it. So I'm going to grab our Garchomp out, throw these away, and grab our team. So boom. And I guess we can start with Morimoto. Why not? I've shown this a couple times, these next 4 fights that I'm going to do, but I do really believe in doing them, especially when you are on Charm. And just because they give like a lot of money, like why not? So let's go up there. Oh, and you know what? I left some items off of my guys here by accident, but it should be completely fine. We're just going to give the Garchomp the Soft Sand and the Typhlosion a Charcoal, and it's still going to be completely fine, no worries. And we can lead with the Blastoise, or the Pelipper into Blastoise. So yeah, here we go. And this isn't the greatest team ever for Morimoto. I'm just kind of showing off that like this is a pretty standard gym team and showing off that you could beat Morimoto with it. So here we go. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about the state of red fights right now. I've talked about this before. I think it's really cool in terms of like a late game fight to earn some money, but I've complained about it seems like the challenge is more to do with preparing the Pokemon that like just guarantee a win rather than actually like taking on the fight yourself, because the community has solved those fights. And it has to do with exploiting the AI, like I said before. They could definitely change this by just making the AI switch out if they recognize they're locked into a move that does 0 damage. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm curious on your guys' opinions on what they should do about that. I personally think it's a little bit unfortunate that the red fights are like a free win. Like Morimoto can be more difficult sometimes, but it is what it is. But yeah, on that note, I'll just give a little tip for making money. You don't have to grind money in this game like all the time. What I recommend doing is just doing the red fights and making sure you have a Riches Charm of some sort. So, and the way that I do that is that I'll be playing for however long, like maybe I'm XP training, EV training, breeding, or just doing some PvP or whatever it is. And then when I'm going to hop off, I just do my red fight. It'll take like 10 minutes or less. Maybe I do Striaton, and then I log off, and the charm stays active. So that's if you guys saw at the start of the video, I had like 30 minutes left of charm. That's how you do it. And then if you do it this way, we'll just water spout anyway. Oh, it has water absorb. My mistake. But if you do it this way, now you get like 2 red fights for the price of 1 amulet coin, and it's just like a little bit of min-maxing. And so let me just swap out really quickly actually. It's not like the most necessary thing. I just like to do it because it also like it cuts down the time that I'm actively grinding. So for me, it's like sometimes I don't want to start a Riches Charm or an Amulet coin because I don't want to commit to grinding for an hour. So that's why I recommend to do it this way. You can just do like 20 to 30 minutes of money grinding, log off, and your charm will stay active for the next time you log in, because it's not real world time. It's not real world time. It's based on the amount of time you're logged into the game. So I think that's pretty important to keep in mind. You can do 30 minutes at the end of one day of playing PokeMMO, and then the next time you log into PokeMMO, you do another 30 minutes. And for me, it just helps break it up, and it's actually a lot more charm efficient, like I was saying, because you would never normally be able to do 2 red fights in 1 charm. That's just not how that works. There's a week-long timer, but if you don't play all the time, you play like around like once a week or something like that, then I would definitely recommend it. It definitely makes a lot of sense to do it that way. Enough yapping about min-maxing charms. It really doesn't matter that much. Let's go ahead and finish off this Morimoto fight. And like I said, it really is that easy. Just bring in some really powerful mons like I have. It can really be anything, and you will definitely win. So there you go. Took a couple of minutes and got 23 grand for it. Not bad. Let's move on to the last like best thing to do before we'll just do a couple of gyms. I think we'll maybe do like Unova today and then call that a wrap. So let's go ahead and jump into the next spot. Really quickly, actually, I want to check if Sabrina is home. Oh, wait, that's her name, right? Or am I tripping? No, it's Cynthia, not Sabrina. See, she's not. Okay, I just wanted to check. I didn't know. And let's jump into Strighton. Cynthia is pretty much the same as Morimoto. She's slightly more difficult, but anything level 100 that's strong and fast should do it. If you're having trouble, throw some choice items on your mons and you'll be fine. So, all right, here we go. I've showed off this strategy before, but I do think it's pretty cool. Oh, you know what? Let's grab our choice items back, actually, before I forget. So they're on these guys here. Take the specs and the scarf, and yeah. All right, great. So now we're ready to go. And this is my modest one. Yes. All right. Yeah, okay, it is inability. I don't know why it wasn't showing. Doesn't matter. Let's give it the specs. And let's give the scarf to Garchomp. All right, perfect. And now we're ready. So we're going to start off with the grass gym here because we're using a Typhlosion strategy. I've shown this before, like I said, but I think it's pretty cool. So we have a modest Typhlosion with the choice specs and hidden ability, Flash Fire. Oh, I'm probably covering that, so I'll really quickly. I'll show it on the side of the screen. So we're going to click Lava Plume and Eruption. And the reason for that is we have a timid one here, which means it's always going to go first, and it's going to click Lava Plume, activating our Flash Fire on our modest one. And it's pretty much like a free Sun boost for our modest Typhlosion while dealing with any what's it called? Focus Sashes and Sturdy. So that way, if you're like manipulating weather, you might miss out on killing the lead mons if they have Sturdy or Focus Sashes, and then this way you don't. So that's really like the whole point of doing this. And the reason we're starting with the grass gym is because we should be able to get through this without taking any damage whatsoever, which means our water gym will be a little easier versus doing it the other way around. There is a chance of taking damage or even losing a mon doing the water gym first, which can make the rest of this run more difficult to do. So without further ado, let's finish this thing off. As you can see, it's pretty simple. You're just going to click Eruption on turn 2 and 3, and then click Lava Plume and Eruption on turn 1. There's nothing that they can really do. It's too strong, and they're only level 80, so yeah, it really is just a free win as well. With these fights, though, I don't mind as much or whatever that it's like not difficult because they have level 80 mons, so in my opinion, it's not as much of like a challenge. I was saying that I was disappointed in Red because it was like the final boss of the game. He has level 100 mons and he cheats, but you can still just cheese him for a free win. Yeah, I'm sure not many people are as upset about that because it makes beating him a lot easier, but I just think like it's not really a challenge. It's more of like a, do you care to bother looking up the like the solve strategies and then making those Pokemon yourself, or even just buying them. But anyway, let's go into the water fight. So here we go. We're seeing the strategy in action and why it's so good. So there we go. We do enough damage to kill everything. So we'll see in a second here. Yep, kill everything. Whereas if you had Sun, that might not have been the case. Like if you're leading Ninetales, just because it doesn't hit both mons. But anyway, here we go. So we're going to go into Eruption now, double Eruption, and these mons are going to get absolutely smoked. Yeah, really the only turn you can like potentially take damage on is the Lava Bloom turn because it's slightly less damage, but at this point, like look, that was the unboosted Eruption, did half, and then this is the boosted Eruption with specs. They're gone. So yeah, definitely a good strategy. And good for grinding up money for sure. I'll probably make around like 300k or something in 30 minutes. So definitely pretty solid. One of like the best money-making methods in the game, really. Just doing red fights into gym runs. Doesn't really get better than that. You could do some like Elite Four stuff, and I don't know. That's like more technical. Honestly, like I just like being able to get as rich as I need to be. I don't have any like mental thing about like, oh, I need to get to 10 million. That's like my personal goal. If that's you, you know, great for you. Maybe try out some Elite Four stuff. That's just not me. I only grind money to give myself enough so that I don't have to worry about money. Pretty much is like the point of money grinding, in my opinion. There's a lot more fun things to do in this game than just grinding money. So that's how I treat it. Anyway, here we go. So we're in on the fire gym, and we're going to switch into our weather on turn 1 rather than lead it because of his Ninetales. This is a pretty common idea for a lot of gym runs. A lot of gym runs will set, like the gym leaders will set weather, so you can't lead your weather. Just something to keep in mind. Just really small potatoes, honestly, at this point. I've taken 0 damage, and I won't by the end of these 3 gyms. So, yeah. Like I said, it's really not the most complicated thing here. We're just using a spread move in Water Spout and Eruption, and then boosting them up so they do absurd amounts of damage, and yeah, getting the win. All right, final 2 mods. All right, let's take these last guys out, and that'll be some good money. I think last time we did this, you get around like 40k for doing all 3 of them on amulet coins, so yeah, pretty good. It looks like that, about 1300 per, so yeah, like 39k. All right, anyway, so we're off to the next thing. So like I said, I think we'll just go through Unova and get as many done as we possibly can. So let's go into Necrene, and we're actually going to lead our Blastoise with this one. Just to save us a little bit of time, we don't need to heal our PP or our health. So yeah, we'll just use the Blastoise because it has more PP on its spread, and take this gym out and keep moving. So yeah, I guess it's a good thing I can get to show off this team. So come on, stop talking. Okay. So yeah, you just need a weather or a rain setter. I prefer Pelipper for a variety of reasons. First of all, it's immune to ground, which is nice and useful. And then a Blastoise. I actually think I have a pretty good Blastoise, don't I? Yeah, pretty good. You don't need that good though. I would just say 31-31 with Water Spout will cut it. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. So we're going to Ice Beam the Dragonite, click Water Spout, and hopefully this should be enough to kill. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, it's not going to be enough. Okay, that's okay. Leave the Licky alive. It's not going to cause that much of like a problem. And yeah, I guess we can start clicking moves, killing these guys. Alright, great. So this one's going to take slightly longer because we didn't kill the Licky in one hit. But, like I said, it doesn't really matter. We're just going to keep pushing and see how many gyms we can get done with the rest of this charm. Hopefully we will rack up some good cash. It doesn't matter. Just click the moves. So really quickly, I guess I can show this off to you. So the reason that I like Pelipper, like I said, it's immune to ground because it's a flying type. Which means at like some situations you can have the Garchomp in. This is a pretty nice Garchomp. Come on, guys. With rough skin. Just to click Earthquake, and it won't affect the Pelipper. It's just like a smaller thing. But that's why I chose Pelipper over Politoed. And I like Pelipper too, and I can set Tailwind. Like there's some good things here with Pelipper for sure. And I think Pelipper is actually a higher like PvP tier than Politoed. But anyway. There you go. Super simple strategy. It's the same for both Blastoise and Typhlosion, just clicking Water Spout or Eruption respectively, with either a weather boost from Drought or what's it called? What is this thing called? Drizzle? Yeah, Drought or Drizzle, or the Flash Fire technique I showed you guys in Striaton. So let's keep on pushing and let's head to the next gym. Could have done this earlier, because I was here earlier, but whatever. I wanted to show off the, like, in my opinion, like the best ways of making money before just like the pretty good ways. Because gym runs are still pretty good, especially on Charm. So yeah. And I also just wanted to like show off like this, like I said, like this idea of not having to start a Charm and then grind money for a straight hour. I think a lot of players don't use charms because of that. I definitely did, and then I realized I could just do it this way, and it really does seem like a lot of just mental strain. Because I'm sure a lot of people out there feel the same as me, that they don't want to they just don't want to like log into POKEMMO and then immediately grind money for an hour. It's like not always the most fun thing to do, and that's like what mentally stopped me from activating the charm. But splitting the charm into 2 different sessions of playing, I think, is really helpful because it just gives you that extra, just extra bit of leniency. Where if you only want to grind money for 30 minutes or 20 minutes or even like 15, that's completely fine. Just log off, and then when you come back, finish up the rest of your grinding. Maybe even like quit before the charm even expires, and it'll still get you a lot of money. Because yeah, if you're going to grind money, you should definitely be on charm. It just makes the most sense. Same thing if you're going to be EXP training, you should also be on charm. So yeah, that's just my one tip, is like the mental block. If you're ever going to be doing those things and not activating a charm, think about it, and it probably is because of that reason I was talking about. And then do it that way. Do it at the end of playing. Oh, I clicked a lot of choice. That was a mistake. Doesn't matter. But yeah, do it at the end of playing, and then the next time you hop in, finish it up. And it's just like, for me, it's just nicer on the mental because I don't feel like I have to just sit here and grind. But yeah, like I said, all these fights are pretty simple. None of them are going to be too difficult. Because like I said, the real challenge is preparing the team rather than using it. You're really just clicking like 1 or 2 buttons, and the fights just are pretty trivial. But yeah, if you guys didn't know how to beat like every single gym in the game, this is how. Blastoise and Typhlosion, either or both. Really whatever's floating your boat, you know, and get it done. This is just like another tip that I will say though about why I like the Typhlosion is better than Blastoise. So if you saw last time I was doing a Pelipper and Blastoise setup, that means I don't have 2 spread moves. So if they do have like Focus Sash or Sturdy, like we saw at the end there, it's going to take you just slightly longer. So something to keep in mind. It does definitely matter, especially when you're concerning or thinking about conserving PP and HP. I haven't taken any damage, and I've only used minimal eruptions, which means I don't have to heal. I can just jump straight into the next fight. So definitely those little time saves do add up. If you're curious about like how fast and how many gyms you can do in an hour, I would recommend checking out a YouTube channel called Hi, I'm Rainer, who, to my knowledge, holds the world record actually for most gyms done in an hour. And it's a pretty cool video. He does some pretty different strats than what I'm showing off here. He uses like reactive gas wheezing, which I thought was pretty interesting. I'm assuming to nullify the sturdies rather than like what I'm doing here with the Typhlosions. Yeah, pretty interesting strategy. Definitely check that out if you're curious about how to do it the most efficiently. But I would also say that the way he does it is not for 95% of players. Just slap 2 Typhlosions on your team and call it a day. Trust me, it'll save you a lot of hassle. But yeah, just something I thought was cool to point out. If you guys have never seen that video, yeah, he does hold, from my knowledge, the record for most gyms in an hour. And there's some pretty interesting strategies shown in that video. All right, so we got hit once. That is a bummer. We are going to have to heal now, but we still should be able to beat this gym, no problem. And it looks like we're not going to get through all of Unova, which is a bummer, but I think we did pretty well for ourselves, honestly, already. I wonder how much money we've made. I'm not sure exactly what the starting stack was. I know it was like 4.8 or 4.9, so maybe we've only made 250,000 though, but in 30 minutes, that's really good. Most money-making methods are like around 250k, 300k per hour, not per 30 minutes, so yeah, I'll definitely take that for sure, and I'm assuming those are without, well, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, we finished that one, let's keep moving. Keep moving to the next one, but yeah. So hopefully you guys can see just how reliable this team is. It doesn't matter what gym it is. It truly doesn't. It's just going to be a win. So yeah, let's keep going, keep the ball rolling here. You know what? We're actually going to not heal, just save a little bit of time, and also because we can use Blastoise on this gym as well. So Get the Blastoise in. Whoops. All right, there we go. Boom. And I think we're going to actually do a unique strategy, which is Eruption and Water Spout. No, we're not. So I thought the team was going to be different. Neither of those Pokemon have Sturdy, right? So we're actually not going to do that. We're going to click... Oh. No, we are going to do that. We are going to do that. Okay, never mind. So yeah, we're going to do Eruption and Water Spout, and then on the next turn we'll bring in Pelipper to activate the Rain. This is interesting. I haven't usually seen this team. I usually see a Hippowdon with Sandstream on this guy's team, but who cares? Still going to be a win. So yeah, I mean, like I was saying, guys, this is a pretty easy strategy, pretty flexible, and yeah, you're really not going to have any problems finding the gems with these mods. So definitely recommend to pick them up. And you can even get away with like I just have one Blastoise here on the team. I have other Blastoises, I just choose not to bring them because I like bringing a Garchomp instead for just a little bit more flexibility. But yeah, you can just bring like one Typhlosion or one Blastoise and like the Weather Setter, and you'll be fine. Just maybe a little bit more dangerous, but here, as we can see, this is gonna kill both of them. So there you go. And then maybe if you have a Blastoise, like one Blastoise and one Typhlosion, then you can swap them out depending on what's most effective for the gym you're fighting. Yeah, I just have a bunch of both of them, to be honest. I have a bunch of Typhlosions and a bunch of Blastoise. All right, it's probably gonna be the last gym we're able to get to. That's okay. We've done really well. We're almost at 4.2, which is pretty good. Come on. The removal of strings definitely makes the gym runs worse. I will absolutely say that. It's just a fact, 100% fact. Some people are snorting copium and will tell you it's not because, oh, they changed the text speed to instant. It is slower, I guarantee it. I've done gym runs in both versions. So yeah, keep that in mind. I'm not saying that it's like a bad strategy. It just definitely did get nerfed. It's just, yeah, it's definitely annoying as like a player who used to play with strings, but it's whatever. Because like, for instance, at the Poke Center, I remember, I think it was like Gen 3 or something. Like on the Gen 3 Poke Centers, it would just insta heal you. Like you wouldn't have to see the balls go in and stuff like that. But I do understand that that's not really how the game is supposed to work, so whatever. And oh man, we got screwed here by a fast Earthquake. I should still be able to beat this gym, but this is probably going to be the last one on the coin, so yeah. Still a good session though. I think that was what, like around 30 minutes, and we're going to make a good chunk of change. See how this fight goes. I would really like to finish it without problems. I think I'm going to let both of these guys die. Yeah, and then we'll get we'll get the Pelipper and Blastoise going. So yeah, that was a bummer. But I guess it's good to show off. Definitely something to look out for. The flying type gyms are going to have some of the fastest mons that you have to deal with. So that's where you can run into problems. Like for instance, I know in Johto, the flying type gym there has really fast mons, so we're actually going to set up Tailwind. And yeah, this one here, obviously, they're outspeeding me. So yeah, that can be a problem. Just keep that in mind. Maybe if you have more of a budget team, consider skipping the flying gyms. But yeah, I don't know. Either way, it should be okay. It just takes a little bit more time and runs the charm down a little quicker. Yeah, it is what it is. Alright, I can't remember if that thing has Water Absorb. I don't think it does. Let's just smash it. Some big damage here. Alright. We got Eject Button. Oh my gosh, and it's taking away from... Oh no. Disaster. That was like not ideal. Okay, we have to like really hurry this up to finish before the coin runs out. So let's lock in here. This is not going to plan. Alright. Bring in the Garchomp. Should have Rock Slide on this Garchomp. I guess we can go like, yeah. Oh, we have Stone Edge. Okay, shoot. We're going to just click Dragon Claw then. And just try and grind this down before the charm runs out. All right. Well, yeah, we are going to get this done for sure then. But yeah, a little bit of trouble on this last gym. Like I said, I guess it's good to show. Definitely something to look out for. The flying type gyms are definitely fast, so you can run into trouble. Like I was saying before, this is kind of why I like bringing a guard chomp. It's just a great mon, and I slapped a choice scarf on mine to help mitigate the speed thing being a problem. And it can just kind of help come in and save you from a bad spot. And like mine's only level 91, and it definitely clutched that up for us. So there you go. 30 minutes of amulet coin and a whole lot of money. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you learned something, and hopefully you get out there and grind some of your own money. So yeah, thank you for watching. And again, thank you for watching all of my PokeMMO videos. They are the best performing on this channel, and that means a lot to me. And yeah, if you want to see more, then just keep watching them, because it definitely inspires me to keep making them. So yeah, again, thank you guys for watching. I really, really mean that. And have a great rest of your day. Peace.